Hey there, English learners! Welcome back to the English Podcast with FTJ, your go-to podcast for learning English the fun, natural way and improving all areas of your life. I'm Erin, and we're thrilled to have you joining us today for another exciting episode packed with practical insights.
And I'm Evan. Whether you're tuning in for the first time or you've been with us for a while, we truly appreciate your support. Today's episode centers on a topic that's at the heart of not just language learning, but achieving any goal self-discipline.
Exactly, Evan. Self-discipline is that one factor that can really make or break your progress, whether you're striving to improve your English, get healthier, or accomplish any personal ambition. It's the engine that keeps us moving forward even after our initial motivation fades away.
Absolutely, Erin. I'll admit, self-discipline is something I've been struggling with lately. I've set some personal goals, but honestly, I've found myself falling behind and feeling a bit undisciplined. It's not always easy to keep that momentum going.
I can totally relate, Evan. We all experience those moments where we set ambitious goals, but then find it tough to stick with them. Can you share a specific example of what's been getting in your way lately?
For sure, I've really wanted to exercise more, but every time I plan to work out, it always seems to clash with my Netflix binge sessions. I keep telling myself, I'll start tomorrow, but that tomorrow just keeps getting pushed back. It's honestly frustrating.
That I'll start tomorrow syndrome is something everyone faces at some point. It's so easy to put things off, especially when distractions are everywhere. That's why today's discussion about self-discipline is so important, because without it, we wind up procrastinating and drifting away from our goals.
Exactly. In today's episode, we want to break down the real reasons why self-discipline matters so much, how to actually develop it, and what you can do to stay motivated even when things get tough. We've all been there, and we want to help our listeners find practical solutions.
And the best part is, we've prepared some practical tips to help you stay disciplined whether you're learning English or working on other areas of your life. We want to make sure you walk away from this episode with actionable strategies you can use right away.
Absolutely. Plus, we're offering a free PDF guide for this episode, which includes key takeaways, comprehension questions, and grammar exercises. It's a great way to reinforce what you learn here and keep building your discipline and your English skills at the same time.
Don't forget, we're also introducing some new intermediate-level vocabulary throughout the show. These words and phrases will help you sound more natural and confident when speaking English. We'll break them down for you in Charlotte's vocabulary section later on.
So, make sure to stick around. This episode is packed with practical insights designed to help you develop self-discipline and elevate your English skills. We'll guide you step by step through everything you need to know.
Whether you want to build better habits, improve your speaking confidence, or simply get better at staying focused, this episode is for you. So let's dive into our main topic, how to build self-discipline and stay consistent on your path to success. Our first tip is all about starting small with tiny habits.
I can really relate to this idea. Every year, I set big goals for myself, like working out every day for an hour or eating perfectly. But, honestly, by the time mid-January rolls around, I'm already overwhelmed and burned out. It's tough to maintain such high expectations all at once.
You're not alone, Evan. New Year's resolutions can be really appealing, but they often lead to burnout when we try to change too much too quickly. The trick is to begin with small, manageable habits and allow yourself to build momentum over time instead of going all in at once.
That's so true. I've discovered that when I commit to just 5 minutes of exercise each day, it feels much more manageable. Over time, those tiny habits really add up and help establish a routine that sticks. Consistency is key, and small steps make it achievable.
Like you said, 5 minutes of exercise every day might seem insignificant, but when you look back after a few weeks or months, it can add up to some pretty impressive progress. Why do you think these small daily actions are so effective when it comes to building healthy habits?
Absolutely. It's similar to language learning too. Instead of overwhelming yourself by aiming to study English for an hour straight, you can commit to just 5 minutes a day reading an article, listening to a podcast, or picking up a new word. Over time, these tiny efforts accumulate and boost your confidence without causing stress. Consistency is really the secret ingredient here.
That makes sense. James Clear actually writes about this in his book, Atomic Habits. He explains that small habits compound over time, so the key is making the habit so easy that you can't say no. Even a few minutes of practice, done consistently, can produce significant results down the line.
Exactly. And the beauty of focusing on small habits is that they naturally blend into your daily routine. You're not relying on constant willpower or motivation. It just becomes something you do. That makes it much easier to stay disciplined without feeling like you're forcing yourself to do something difficult.
Totally! Now, moving to our second tip. Focus on systems, not just goals. While having goals is important, they don't guarantee success unless you have a clear, workable system supporting them. Can you share a time when setting a goal without a system made things difficult for you?
I've definitely been there. For instance, I'd set an ambitious goal like losing 30 pounds in 3 months, but I didn't create a daily plan or routine to support it. I'd start strong, but I'd quickly lose steam and feel discouraged when results didn't show up right away. Without a system, it's easy to fall off track.
Exactly! That's where systems become essential. A system is really just a series of small daily actions that move you closer to your goal. If you focus on what you do every day, the results will follow almost automatically.
Right. So rather than obsessing over the outcome, listeners should build a system for success. For example, practicing English for 10 minutes each morning or listening to English podcasts while commuting. When these small routines become habits, progress happens naturally and consistently.
Yes, and once your system is in place, it becomes almost automatic. You don't have to rely on motivation every day. You just follow your routine, even if it seems minor. This brings us to our next tip. Make habits attractive and enjoyable. Why does making habits fun help us stick to them?
I totally agree. When I first started working out, I dreaded every session. But once I began listening to my favorite music or watching a funny show while stretching, it became something I actually looked forward to. The chore turned into a treat, and I was much more likely to keep it up.
That's such a good point. The same approach applies to language learning. If you make English practice enjoyable, like watching an exciting series in English or giving yourself a small reward after a study session, it transforms the process into something you want to do instead of something you have to do.
Absolutely. If listeners reward themselves after practicing English, maybe with a tasty treat or a fun break, it keeps motivation high. It's like positive reinforcement. Your brain loves rewards, and pairing them with good habits makes it much more likely you'll stick with them for the long term.
Exactly. Discipline doesn't have to be boring or painful. That brings us to our next tip: designing your environment for success. The reality is, your surroundings can either support your goals or make them harder to reach. How has your environment influenced your ability to stick to new habits?
Oh, I can definitely relate. Whenever my workspace is cluttered or I have snacks lying around, I get distracted almost immediately. It's so easy to lose focus and fall into old habits when your environment doesn't support your intentions.
Exactly. If your surroundings are working against you, it's almost like you're setting yourself up for failure. For example, if you want to exercise more, keeping your workout clothes visible can serve as a powerful reminder to take action.
That's so true. I started keeping my gym clothes by my bed and my bag near the door, so I'd see them first thing in the morning. I also moved snacks away from my desk to avoid temptation and stay focused. Small changes in your environment can have a big impact on your habits and discipline.
Let's kick things off by discussing how to make self-discipline easier in our daily lives. Aaron, what are some ways people can set themselves up for success when trying to build good habits or learn English?
Great question. The key is to adjust your environment to make positive behaviors more convenient and procrastination harder. For instance, keep your study materials like books, apps, and flashcards visible and easily accessible. If you keep things out of sight, it's easy to forget about them and lose momentum.
Absolutely. And it's not just about your physical space. The people you surround yourself with can have a big impact on your discipline too. If your friends support your goals, it becomes much easier to stay focused and motivated every day.
That's so true, although sometimes friends can be a bit of a distraction, especially if they're tempting you with cake or other fun things. But overall, having a supportive environment, both social and physical, plays a big role in sticking to your goals.
That brings us to another important aspect: willpower and energy management. Evan, how do you see willpower functioning in the context of building habits or learning a new language?
Willpower is a lot like a muscle. The more you use it throughout the day, the more fatigued it becomes. By the evening, many people find it tough to resist distractions like binge-watching TV shows. That's why it's essential to schedule your most important activities, like studying English or working out, when your energy is at its peak, usually earlier in the day.
Exactly. For me, if I exercise in the morning, I'm far more likely to stick to my routine than if I wait until the evening. The same principle applies to language learning. Find your peak energy time and use it for focused practice so you can maximize your results.
I couldn't agree more. Whether you're reviewing vocabulary, practicing speaking, or listening to podcasts, using your sharpest energy window makes a huge difference. It's all about making the most of your natural rhythms to support your self-discipline.
Another powerful approach is automating decisions to preserve your mental energy. Evan, how can automating choices help people stay disciplined with their habits or English learning?
Automating your decisions means setting up systems so you don't have to rely on willpower for every action. For example, having set times for studying or working out or preparing your materials in advance reduces the number of choices you need to make. This frees up mental energy for more important tasks.
That's a great point. Once you've got your systems in place, accountability can take things to the next level. Having someone check in on your progress, like a workout buddy or language partner, makes it much easier to stay consistent and motivated.
Definitely. Social support is key. Whether it's a study group, a friend, or even just someone cheering you on, having that external motivation really helps keep you on track. It's like having a gentle push whenever you need it, without any judgment.
Now that we've explored these strategies, let's take a moment to review some of the key words and phrases we've mentioned. To help make your English learning even smoother, we have Charlotte with us to explain some useful intermediate vocabulary from today's episode.
Hi everyone, it's Charlotte here, and I'm excited to break down several important terms you heard today. I'll explain their meanings and give you tips on how to use them in real-life situations so you can reinforce your learning and boost your confidence.
Thanks, Charlotte. Those vocabulary tips are always so helpful for our listeners. Remember, the best way to master new words is to actively use them in conversations or writing as often as possible.
Absolutely. Before we sign off, remember to keep your tiny habits going, stay consistent, and make your environment work for you. And don't forget to reward yourself along the way. Good habits can be fun, too.
Before we go, we just want to remind you building self-discipline doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, practice, and patience, so give yourself the grace to grow at your own pace as you learn English.
That's right. So don't be too hard on yourself. If you miss a day, It's okay. Just start again the next day instead of feeling discouraged. Learning is a journey, not a race.
Every small step counts. Even if you only manage to study a single new English word each day, that's still progress moving you forward towards your goals.
And if you ever feel stuck or tired, remember why you started. Think about your goals like speaking English confidently, getting a better job, or making new friends with your new language skills.
Motivation can help you start, but discipline helps you continue. Sticking with your study routine, even on tough days, is how you truly reach your language goals over time.
And hey, don't forget to celebrate your progress. Even small wins matter. Recognizing these moments keeps you motivated to keep going.
Yes, maybe today you understood a new word or listened to this whole episode without stopping. That's amazing, and it's exactly the kind of progress worth feeling proud of.
We believe in you. Keep learning, keep growing, and enjoy the journey. The process itself is just as important as the end result.
And don't forget, if you liked this episode, share it with a friend who's also learning English. Learning is always better together, and you can support each other along the way.
Also, follow our podcast so you never miss an episode. We've got more fun and helpful topics coming soon to help you on your English journey.
And check the episode description to download your free PDF guide aids full of useful exercises, vocabulary, and questions to help you practice and reinforce what you've learned.
All right, friends, that's it for today. We hope these tips and resources help you keep building your English skills with confidence and consistency.
Hey, before we really go, how about one last quick tip for our amazing listeners? I always think that practical advice can make a big difference.
Ooh, good idea. Here's mine. If you ever feel lazy or unmotivated, try doing a countdown like 3, 2, 1, go. Then just start. Don't overthink it. Action beats hesitation every time.
I love that. Sometimes we wait for the perfect time, but it never comes. So just start, even if it's only for 2 minutes. Consistency, not perfection, is what really matters.
Exactly. Action creates motivation. Once you begin, it's much easier to keep going and build momentum, even on days when you don't feel like studying.
Here's my tip. Use English in your everyday life. For example, try changing your phone settings to English or describe your day in English before bed. These small habits add up over time.
Oh yeah, I tried that. For instance, I'd say, "Today I ate rice. I met my friend. We watched a movie." It's super simple, but really helpful for building confidence and fluency.
Yes, don't worry about making mistakes. Just try your best and remember, that's how you learn and improve. It's all about practice and not giving up.
Can I share one more too? Try shadowing. It means you listen to a sentence in English and then repeat it right after. It helps a lot with speaking and pronunciation, making you sound more natural.
That's a fantastic one. When you're watching a video, pause and repeat what they say, just like an actor preparing for a role. It's a fun and active way to practice.
And you don't need to sound perfect. Just have fun with it. The more you practice, the more natural it will feel.
Learning English is a journey. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's hard, but every little step matters and brings you closer to your goals.
And remember, you're not alone. We're all learning and growing together, and we're here to support you every step of the way.